The Florida Gators get themselves a 4-star athlete commit. We'll talk about that young man alongside other Gator commits possibly looking elsewhere. But we wrap it up with a possible Gator crystal ball for a big-time target. Let's roll the intro and let's get after it. Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Hightop Sports. Today we're going to be talking about a couple of different things, all in regards to recruiting. First being, the Gator boys get a commit. Now let's settle down a little bit. It's for 2027, okay? Let's not get too crazy about it, but I know a lot of you are probably thinking, like myself, because this whole recruiting season, it's evolving, it's changing, right? And when you think about 2027, that just seems forever away. Like, we can't even wrap our mind around it because we're still in the middle of 2026 right now. But I've been kind of telling you, we saw it a little bit last year, and it really feels like they're really taking this thing seriously on keeping these recruiting seasons in check. When the official visit season ended, or weekend ended last weekend, they started advertising they being the recruiting staff for Florida Gators to 2027. Like, they have already moved on to, okay, here's our focus. This past weekend, they had the Grill to the Ville, which they had current 2026 guys there, but alongside of that, they had Friday Night Lights. If you recall, we really kind of found our rhythm here at Hightop Sports. That first initial Friday Night Lights, like, that was kind of a big moment for us, a big turning point. We went to it. We kind of got in trouble because we made a little video there. It was an awesome time, right? We really kind of found our footing there and met a lot of great people, a lot of great recruits. Then the next year, it started evolving, started changing. We did an interview, a live show inside of the stadium, got in trouble once again. But at that point, it was starting to evolve. It was starting to go from the 2020s, like what would be this 2026 class, right? It started moving a year further, okay? So they really have nipped in the bud having guys from this current class be about them. It's about the future, 2027, 2028, and 2029. And that's where they really starts off. That's how it kicks off. It's no longer about this current recruiting class. So all those things are taken into consideration of what this means for this young man that just committed here. And Tremon Collins, a 6'2", 183, 4-star wide receiver. On3 has some highly rated on their recruiting staff, but this young man commits this past weekend. And again, the first question is he going to reclassify? Because when we see someone commit this early, that's your thought. Will Griffin committed, I think, roughly around the same time last year. Quarterbacks are a bit different. When he committed, I go, we didn't have a quarterback. We, at this point, when Will Griffin committed last year, we did not have Tramel Jones. I was like, could we see this young man reclassify? He ultimately did not reclassify. Obviously, here we are. He hasn't reclassified. But I think a quarterback committing that early is a little bit different. When you go back a couple classes before that, Waltez Clark, he committed about October of this time last year for his class. Kind of stay with me. So I don't believe this young man will reclassify. I just really think that we're seeing a shift in the recruiting season and how things are going to rock and roll. So we'll take a look at Mr. Tremon Collins here. Again, On3 loves him a lot here as an athlete. Damn near top 100 player, 4th rated athlete in the class, headed for that 2026 class. So Florida got themselves here. I know about Billy Gonzalez this past weekend, talked about how they would fit him into the scheme, into that wide receiver scheme, into the play calling. So all good stuff. I love that Florida is already getting ahead of it. And you're probably thinking, wow, with Florida already have one commit for 2027, they've got to be the top 10, right? Top 5? No, because that's how many schools are already after. One of them being Penn State. That's 3 commits with an average rating of 97.50. They have some absolute dogs. The number 14 player in the country, the 54th player in the country, and the 67th player in the country are all committed so far to Penn State for the 2027 class. So it's not too early to get started. You know who's in second? I'll give you a second to guess who's in second. You throw out names, comment down below right now. I will give anybody, well, I can't because I don't know if you guys cheat or not, but I know off the top of your dome, I could give you 1 billion guesses and you would never guess who's in second place. You would never guess who's in second place. Ever. I promise you. I promise you. You probably can even look at it and you wouldn't believe what you saw. That's how much you don't know who's in second place. Sacramento State is in second place right now with 5 commits so far. Sacramento State, don't forget, I believe they've got the go-go offense. I believe that's where Jaden Rashada is now, currently. Yeah, I think that's correct. They got a little bit of a backing and some NIL and doing some things. Getting after it. For comparison, let's see where they finished for 2025. They finished 77th in 2025. In 2026 right now, they're trending 84th. Yeah, Brendan Marion is their current coach, the Go-Go offense. So cool to see Sacramento State up there. I mean, obviously they won't last for long, but I mean, that's still a big time movement for them to be up there that early on. Then you've got Ohio State, Bama, Miami, Oregon, Syracuse, and some others. Florida now sits 18th with that one commit at an average rating of 93.01. So even 247 likes what they see in Tremont Collins. So good stuff there for the Florida Gators. Happened last night. I was doing some work and some things outside, and it was a bit yonked. Let's talk about a few things here for the Florida Gators. Some guys that we were targeting, some guys that we talked about, some guys when we were putting our little calculator together, we're like, here's some wish list guys. And there was probably a name here that we felt confident when we plugged it in. Remember this? We were like, hey, these are guys that we feel good about. Then we had a kind of a sector where we had the wish list. Vodney Cleveland, I mentioned to a lot of you, I said, listen, Vodney's at Texas right now. Crystal ball has come through. Feels like that could be the ship has sailed on that one, unfortunately. We still plugged him in, but then we removed him and said, here's where we are without him, and we still are in a very healthy class. Kendall Gervil, though, I believe was one of those guys that we felt very confident. At least I did. But I also mentioned, in the same breath, I go, Texas is Holstein and our entire defensive line. Trent Henderson's there right now, who we are favored to get. He tweeted out, #hook'em. Could it just be the moment? Yes. Does it scare the hell out of me? Yes. Like, we've got to close on these boys. Like, their recruiting tactic is literally they show up to Texas and it's just like, you want to go for a ride in Lambeau. Like, that's the move. And it's working tremendously. So I can't, look, either you hate it or you join it. You know what I mean? So Florida's got to figure it out. Like, again, I talked about it on Wednesday's show where I do believe this Texas-Florida matchup in the middle of the season is going to be absolutely iconic. It's going to be one for the ages. I want to go to that game, but it's right around the weekend. My second kid's going to be born, so that's not going to happen. But I'm going to be ticked if this kid comes on that Saturday. We're gonna have to have a talk, a stern talking to day one if that happens. But I guess I believe this is in October, and the kid's due like end of September. So the first one came a little bit later than it was due. So we'll see how it all plays out. But not a huge fan of seeing Kendall being crystal ball. I really felt we had an opportunity here. A kid from Florida. Felt like we were able to keep him close home. He's visited Florida the most out of all schools. So again, it's very early on. Are any of these recruitments over? No, not at all. I'm not losing sleep over it at this very moment. But it does suck when you feel like, hey, you're making some movement. You've got some great headway. Can you close on these things? Now, again, if Trenton Henderson, that crystal ball still stays for Florida, I feel really good about that. Alongside somebody who we've talked about a handful of times now, who rates higher than, I believe, all the names that we just mentioned. Maybe not Trenton Henderson, but I do believe he does rate higher than Mr. Stone here rates higher than Vodney Cleveland and Kendall Gervil. Now, if they're getting 2 for our 1, I mean, we're also getting Trent Henderson. So you split it. Look, four big targets. You split 50-50. That's pretty solid. And maybe that game on Saturday in October could steal one and you're up 3-1. Then okay. Then all works out. But got another some love here from Vaden Sone. We talked about him on Wednesday as well, where Florida feels like they're in a great place for him. But it just feels like they're still making some good headway and some good moves with him as well. Again, this month is full of commitments. Obviously, Vodney Cleveland committed this weekend. We've got more coming up on that 4th of July weekend, like the 1st, the 2nd, the 4th, the 5th. That's going to be a full weekend, and then a few more after that. So we'll continue to monitor and keep up with it and let you guys know when these things do happen. But right now, here's where Florida stands. Let me know your thoughts down below, though, on this commitment process so far, these big-time commits headed to Texas. Do you believe that game in the Swamp coming October, Florida has a good chance to really flip the script there? If they do, let me know down below. Also, we're still running that giveaway for the Branded Spikes signed tequila bottle. Got on some Hightop merch now, as you can tell. Link is in the description. Check out the shop. Got some great gear there. Appreciate the support thus far. We got about 17 entries, I believe. So, a couple more entries in there. Let's see if we can get a few more. Again, a signed Branded Spikes of his own tequila bottle that we will give it away to one lucky winner who purchases himself some Hightop merch. So, y'all be good. Happy Sunday. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning for our Monday mashup show. We love you. Smash the like button, subscribe, all the good things. Peace and love, baby.